Hey guys, it's Chris here, back at it again in another video. Today we're gonna be seeing how some gameplay mechanics work inside my game, Creative Fusion TCG, and I can show you many more things like all 10 cards, all first 10 cards, abilities, and how they work, and how they can function, and how they can combo in some ways, I guess. Okay. Let's get started. So first things off is deck. When you're about to commence a game, you hand your deck to the other person. He gives his deck to you. He shuffles your deck. You shuffle his to prevent some type of cheating. He gives you your cards. You give his cards. You can shuffle a little bit more if you decide to, but yeah, you grab 3 cards from your deck, from the top of the deck, and then the rest of the cards just go on out to the deck pile. So, now we're gonna talk about the coins. So, each player, every time their turn starts, they pick up 3 coins from the used pile, and they have 3 coins. This happens every round. Every time it's your turn. So, you have a maximum of 9 coins on the field. You're always gonna have 9 coins. So you pick up 3, you wait a few rounds, you wait another turn, you grab 3 more, and then you grab 3 more. Max is 9. So don't worry about overstacking, because there's only 9 coins. So you're not gonna be overpassing it. You're always gonna be paying attention to that. And if you don't, you're probably going to start losing coins by just getting a new turn if you don't use all your coins. But I doubt anybody is going to just save up a lot of coins and not do anything with them. But yeah, you can use 9 coins to summon one of those beasts, or 8 coins depending on the card. Maybe a rare, maybe a really cool spell. But yeah. Next things off is using your coins to gain cards. Let's say you threw down 2 monsters, right? You threw down both your monsters, and the enemy decided to boom. He killed both of them this round, and you have 1 card left, right? And you draw another card, and then you use both of the cards, and boom, he destroyed both of them again. You can't do nothing about it. You're low on resources. You don't have more cards. So what you can do on this position is, when your turn begins and you have 3 extra stars, you grab 1 card, because every time you begin a turn, you grab a card, or you draw a card. After that, you use all 3 of your coins and put them in your use pile, and you can draw a new card. That's how it works. So 3 coins equals 1 draw. So you can use that 1 draw whenever you want, as long as you have 3 cards. Obviously, don't use it on the enemy turn, but I meant you can use that the other thing that you can do. Since, let's say this card is bad and you need 1 extra coin, just so let's say your creature's already on the field. And this card you just got it, and you're like, I can't attack because I don't have no more coins. So you put this into the cemetery pile, and you gain 1 coin. Because when you discard a card from your hand, it doesn't matter what type of card, how big it is, rarity, anything. If you discard one from your hand, you will get a coin. But if it gets discarded by another player's ability, it doesn't give you a coin. You understand? Now I have 1 coin, and now I can use this creature to attack the opponent. Okay. So your opponent has an acid flyer, right? And you have a butterfly and Galactic Butterfly. So to get rid of the card, you'll have to do both. You have to attack with both, because they only do 10 damage, and this card has 15 health. But this one can one-shot this one and leave this one with 5 health. So recoil is when this card attacks the acid fly. It's gonna die because of the attack, That's recoil. So this one does its damage back at the card that attacked it. So this one gets 5 health. It's down to 5 health. So now you can use your Galactic Butterfly to attack it. It's gonna stay on 5 health, but you attacked it and now it's dead. And you can wait till your enemy, when your turn begins again, and then your monsters will heal. Let's say you have 10 cards. You have 9 cards in your hand, and it's your turn again, and you have to draw. The problem is you can't have more than 9 cards on your hand. The thing you need to do is discard one of your cards, put it in the cemetery pile, and you will not get a coin for it because you're discarding forcefully. If it was a discard by your own, you won't have to discard and not get coins. If it was by you, you would get 1 coin per discarded card. Okay, so you have your monsters, right? So you have this monster on the field, and the other player has that monster. Since you know he can kill your card on this turn, when you finish your turn, what you can do is put the card in defense mode. That means no creature on the enemy side can attack the player straight. They have to attack the card straight or use a spell to destroy the card. But since it's on defense mode, it has 5 defense. Your opponent can attack you straight, and this card goes back to normal. It cannot no longer go in defense mode unless another spell or another monster gives it more defense. So defense stays on 0 until a card effect gives it more health, or until an object in front of it gives it more defense. But yeah, the opponent cannot attack you straight when a monster's in defense mode. They have to forcefully destroy that monster, even if it's behind an object. So they destroy the object and then they destroy the monster. Now that's how it's gonna work. And it doesn't matter how much damage you do, you will not take recoil from the card that is in defense mode. You can get hurt by effects, but you cannot get recoil. So since this card did 20 damage and this one's 20 health and it was on defense mode, this one attacked it and it didn't lose any health. It just destroyed his shields and it can no longer regenerate. Last thing about the game mechanics is that every time you go in defense mode or a card goes in defense mode, you have to pay a coin or an attack. So let's say my card, which is this one right here, let's say this one is like low health, like it has like 5 health, right? And this one has like a buff of extra health just so it doesn't die. So my card attacks, and to attack you use 1 coin. My card attacks, this card right there dies, goes off, and then to prevent my card from dying, let's say it's on full defense mode, it still hasn't been broken defense mode, so you just turn the card into defense mode. That costs 1 coin. That costs another coin. So you just use 2 coins, 1 to attack and 1 to turn into defense mode. And let's say another turn comes and you want to turn that card out of defense mode. So what you do next is you use that another coin to turn the card from defense mode back to attack mode. So it costs coins to attack, defense, and go back to non-defense. Okay, so now that we finished with all the gameplay information for now, we're gonna start with the card number 1, the Ghost Butterfly. It's an uncommon. It has you have to pay two coins to summon the card into the field. And its effect is Its camouflage makes it invisible and cannot be attacked by other monsters until it attacks first or hurt by a spell. It has 20 health, 10 defense, and 25 attack. It's a insect ghost elemental. So this card is basically immune to any damage by anything until it attacks first. That means that you can just hide this card the whole game. Never use it unless the enemy uses a spell on it or an effect may be able to target it. But it's really good for keeping in the battlefield. Maybe you keep it on your left mode or right mode, just leave it there. And when the opponent thinks you're never going to use this card, you probably had it since round 1 and never used it at all. He ignores it and doesn't try to kill it, and then you used it to kill a really big creature that he has. But as is stated, you cannot attack it directly. You can attack the player even if it's on the field and this card is on defense mode. Even if the Ghost Butterfly is on defense mode, nobody can attack it. So it's on defense mode. So even if it's on defense mode, people can still attack the player, because since the card is untargetable, that means this card is nullified. On the offense mode, it's not worth to put it on defense mode, because it cannot defend unless its camouflage wears off. Okay, so now we have number 2, which is the Frozen Butterfly. It's an uncommon, 2 coins required to play creature. Its effect is this butterfly does not receive recoil when attacking. 25 health, 20 defense, and 15 attack. It's a insect ice elemental. So this card, as is stated, it's a really simple effect. It attacks this. It can attack. This card dies. This one doesn't receive recoil. But if the enemy attacks this card, it does take recoil. So it's more or less a buff. Not a buff. I'm not sure how to say it correctly, but it's a really good card to start off with. If you want to get rid of like low level cards, let's say like this one right here, you want to get rid of low level cards like this one, you can just easily attack it. Or this one, which is a high damage but low health. So yeah, you can use it to get rid of either like the free to play cards and stuff like that. You can use it for attacking without consequences. Now we have card number 3, which is the Acid Fly. It's a uncommon, 2 coins to play creature. Its effect is when it enters the battlefield, all opponents' monsters lose 10 health. It has 15 health, 0 defense, 30 damage. It's an elemental. It's a insect toxic elemental. So this card, when it enters the battlefield, it takes away 10 of the opponent's health, and you can attack and get rid of that opponent easily. Let's say the opponent had at least like a few cards on the field and all of them were on 20 health or like 15 or let's say 10, exactly 10. Well, when this card enters, all of the cards that were lower than 15 got eliminated and destroyed into the shadow realm, Jimbo. Now we have number 4, Undead Butterfly. It's an uncommon, 2 coins to play creature. Its effect is if this card attacks any opponent card, it gains 10 health permanently after attacking. So this effect works on any card. So let's say your opponent has a spell. I mean, not a spell. A object, a barrier, yes. So this card can attack the object and barrier and it gains 10 health, even if it doesn't kill it. But it's after attacking. So let me put this one here in perspective. We'll show it in a second. So we have our zombie card, right? It has 20 health, 20 damage. So it attacks, and this card dies, and it only does 10 damage. So this one stays with 10, and it gains 10, right? Let's say it did eliminate it. Your opponent's turn begins, and then your turn begins again. And now this card, which is the zombie, it has 30 health, not 20. It has 30 because it gained 10 permanently on the last round, and it healed 10 more on this round. But let's say this card is back to its default stats, which is 20/20. It attacks a acid fly. Since the acid fly kills the card, it does not gain enough health to overplay it. So if this card dies when attacking, it receives enough recoil to die. Its effect doesn't work. So it's after attacking. So yeah, you have to be careful which cards you attack with this one to make sure you gain your health and have extra health and keep the creature alive as long as you can, because this can stack up a lot if it's a lot of really low creatures that cannot kill it. Okay, so next up is number 5, the pizza fly. It's a common, 1 coin to play. It's a creature. Its effect is when this card is destroyed, the monster that killed it gains 15 health permanently. Okay, so I think I'm gonna change this to, instead of permanently, until the opponent's turn begins again. I'll probably do that, or the attackers, they keep it like for 1 turn after that. But I'll leave it permanently for now. It's a decent 30 health, 15 damage, 0 defense. It's a insect food elemental. It's not the best. It's a common. It's more like a sacrificial pawn, since its ability is that it gives health to the opponent's monster. So if the opponent kills the card and stays alive, let's say it stays alive because it had some more health, well, this card gains 15 extra health. If the card that kills it dies with it, it doesn't gain the buff. It just dies with the cards. But let's say the opponent used the spell, and then boom, it killed the card. Well, there's no monster that attacks it, so the effect is cancelled or nullified. Okay, next up is number 6, Galactic Butterfly. It's a uncommon, 2 coins to play creature. When this card enters the field, opponent must discard 1 card off their hand. It has 35 health, 10 defense, and 10 damage. It's a insect space elemental. So it's a straightforward. I don't think you can combo this with anything other than probably a monster or object I make in the future, where if the opponent discards 1 card, you get either you draw a card or something like that. A really simple but efficient combo effect. But yeah, you can use this to just mess with the opponent. Let's say he has 3 cards, or let's say he had 1 card all this time. He had 1 single card, and then boom, you messed up his plans. He doesn't have any cards anymore. Next up is number 7, Mega Butterfly. It's a common 1 coin creature. When this card enters the field, all ally monsters and objects gain 10 defense permanently. It has 15 health, 35 defense, 10 attack. It's a insect mechanical elemental. So this card is really useful for when the opponent has a lot of damage, or you just want to block the opponent from never hitting your player health. Well, you just throw down the card. This one gains up to 25. This one gains 10. That's really good because this card doesn't have defense, and it goes in defense mode, and you can use that as a really good way to save this card for longer. because like I've explained before, when cards are in defense, they don't regenerate their defense, but the defense doesn't kill the card after the defense is broken. So it's really useful for when there's an object with defense, because if there's an object with just health, you won't be healing it because it has health, not defense. You can't give it more defense because it's two different types of health or protection. Okay, next one is the Sand Butterfly. It's number 8. It's a common pay 1 coin creature. When this card enters the field, it gains 5 defense permanently for every ally monster on the field. So it has 35 health, 15 defense, and 5 damage. It's a insect sand elemental. It's not the best card to start off with, but I would say if you have a full field, you can actually get a really good use out of it. You can get up to 40 total defense points on this card, which is really good to keeping that enemy from damaging your player health. And it's really powerful in a way because you can combine this ability and probably have an object or a spell that keeps like you put it on it, or an equipment that gives the card more defense, and that's really good. It has a lot of health. At 35 is really good for a common card. Its damage is not the best, but it's a defense card for a reason. It's really good to defend your player from getting attacked at any time. Okay, next up is the Yellow Lightning Butterfly. It's number 9. It's a uncommon pay 2 coins creature. First monster this card attacks will be paralyzed and unusable until this card is destroyed. It's not the best card, but it's really good if there's an object in front of it, because if this card this Lightning Butterfly hits the Galactic, it's still gonna lose its health. It's gonna stay on 15. This one's on 15 as well, but this card is unusable, and that's good. Let's say you have a high health, high damage card, or low health, a high attack card. Let's say the card has, instead of since this one's 20 damage, the card has 25 damage, and then 25 health, and then it has like 50 damage. A really strong card that can kill anything. Well, if this card had enough health for that, or a cotton barrier in front of it, which is number 20 on the cards list, that cotton prevents any recoil on the card. So this card attacks, it doesn't receive recoil, but the opponent still gets affected by its paralyze, which is really good to combo with that card, because it doesn't receive recoil, and the card that it attacked, it's basically unusable unless the opponent decides to shoot it with a spell and destroy the card, or just get rid of it by powering through with stronger cards. Last but not least is the Butterfly, number 10. It's a common pay 1 coin creature. Gains 10 health for every butterfly on the field. Effect ends when your turn ends. This is really good if you want to attack a high damage card right from the get-go. Let's say your opponent has only 10 health. Let's say you destroyed your opponent with a lot of attacks or spells, and you left it with just 10 health. Well, you can use this card in combination maybe with other cards that gives it more damage. But for now, this card it's really good for comboing, because you give an equipment to it, it gives it more damage, more attack, and it's more powerful. And then combination with a full set of butterflies on the field, you can get up to 70, or not 70, excuse me, 60, unless I make some butterfly barriers, which I don't think I will. But if I ever make butterfly barriers, or equipment doesn't count, and you'll have a really powerful butterfly, which is a mini boss for at least one turn until it ends. So anyways, thank you everyone for watching. I hope this this video is a really good video. I'm not sure what to say of it because last time I tried to record this on my phone, it didn't go well. I don't have a setup. I had to hold my phone with my hands. My nails are bad. But if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. I'll try to be making more videos, but right now since I'm working, it'll take me a bit to get accustomed to making videos every week. But I'll be updating you guys with another 5 cards at least on Friday or on Sunday, more or less on the weekend. Yes. Alright, have fun and see you guys on the next one. Bye.